It's both of our birthday today.
Facts is so deep.
No, it's both of our birthday
It's my birthday
today.
and she's trying to claim it.
No, honey, we have the same birthday.
She's literally trying to claim
we are
birthday.
one. So yes, happy birthday to both of us.
That's what I've got to deal with. First thing in the morning, I wake up, that's what I heard.
No?
Literally telling me it's our birthday.
It's our birthday today, okay? Honey?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
thank you for the birthday.
everybody.
Hijacking
No, but on the
birthday.
levels, happy birthday to Yass today.
Yeah.
Very big happy birthday.
All right. Thank you. Guys, we are back. We're using the Wi-Fi. Our LAN connection's been a bit funny, so hopefully it's all good. I can't guarantee there's not going to be disconnects this session. So if it does, guys, let us know in the chat, refresh it, do all that, and then that way we can wait for it to work. Got 3 videos today. As you guys know, the Friday vibes, 3 bangers. Video number 1, how good was Tracy McGrady actually? Man like T-Mac, sick player, legend. Before we get into it,
Make sure you smash the subscribe and follow button and hype up this video because it's Yass's. But you minimize me.
No, keep going.
You have to be big.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to start again now.
Before we get into the video,
Make sure you smash the subscribe and follow button and hype up this video because it's Yass's birthday today.
thank you, Fats. There we go.
Tracy McGrady is a 2-time NBA scoring champion, a 7-time All-Star, and a Hall of Famer who never won a playoff series. Here's the retrospective of T-Mac's glorious and peculiar
T-Mac!
career, one filled with what-ifs. We'll answer how good was McGrady actually, why he never won in the postseason, and why Kobe called him the toughest opponent he ever faced. Early life.
That's big
and
words
road
from
to the
Kobe.
NBA. Tracy McGrady was born in Florida in 1979, but unlike some of his NBA colleagues, he didn't have a rags to riches story, and he had a fairly normal childhood. His first sports love was baseball, and Tracy was a talented pitcher. However,
So many like sports athletes love baseball as well, like just as much. So like we reacted to Dion, he was baseball. Michael Jordan was baseball as well. He went into MFL when he retired for that period of time. So many people doing baseball.
I think it's because it's a big sport in America as well. So I think the biggest sport is NFL, NBA, and baseball.
I think baseball's ahead of NBA, you know. Someone
Is
said
it?
that. Guys, what's the order of popularity in these American sports?
I
Where
think
would you list them?
Football is probably first. Am I right
I
to
reckon
say that?
football's first. You guys tell us in the chat and in the YouTube comments. We'll be reading them, so
Yeah.
please inform us.
after a big growth spurt and seeing Penny Hardaway play for his home team Orlando Magic in 1993, Tracy started focusing more on basketball. McGrady exploded as a high school junior, averaging spectacular all-around numbers of 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 blocks per game. But despite his stellar play, McGrady struggled. He was a hothead teenager with a great game and an even greater ego. So he skipped school, had bad grades, and he often fought with his head coach, which ultimately led to being cut from the basketball team and turned the college scouts away. But because one of
You need
McGrady's
discipline.
AAU coaches was also an Adidas agent for finding young talent, he arranged for Tracy to get invited to the prestigious Adidas ABCD summer camp. McGrady
Nice.
came to the 1996 camp as a complete nobody, and from the 175 players there, he was ranked 175th. Lamar
Wow.
Odom was
Oh,
ranked
wow.
number 1, and Tracy demanded to guard Odom to show everybody what he could do against the so-called best player in camp. What was the result? A completely annihilated Odom, who was on the receiving end
No
of some
way.
ferocious tomahawk dunks from T-Mac. After that, McGrady got offered to transfer to Mount Zion Christian Academy, where he led his new team to the state finals and was named the High School Player of the Year by USA Today and Associated Press. Rick Pitino called him to come to Kentucky, but Tracy decided to follow the successful path of Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant, who came to the NBA straight from high school in 2 previous drafts. In the 1997 NBA draft that featured Tim Duncan, Chauncey Billups, and Steven Jackson, McGrady got selected 9th overall by the Toronto Raptors. Toronto, Cousin Vince, and the first What If.
Cousin Vince Carter, the dunk master.
Coming to Toronto was a big cultural shock for an 18-year-old McGrady. He moved from sunny Florida to freezing Canada, where he didn't know anybody. It was a huge shock for me. It was depressing and I was lonely. After practice, I would come home and go straight to bed. I must have been sleeping like 20 hours a day. T-Mac.
Very random one, but I'll quickly say the story. So my sister, as you guys know, she's in the USA now, but before that she lived in Canada. And, you know, England's cold, but it's not Canada cold. Canada cold is different. So anyway, when she moved to Canada, she saw everyone wearing Canada Goose jackets. And she thought, they're nice, but she don't want to look like everyone.
Yeah.
So she spent, they're expensive as well. So she ended up spending the money on like Burberry and these brands. And every time she wore these expensive jackets, none of them kept her warm like that. So she finally said, you know what, I need to try a Canada Goose because these jackets are not cutting it for the weather. She tried a Canada Goose, then she understood why everyone wears Canada Goose there. Not because it's a fashion statement, because it's so damn cold. You need a Canada Goose there to survive. Otherwise,
it's because they use down fur. It's like Montclair as well. They use down fur.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, goose.
A goose fur.
Yeah,
Okay.
they use that.
It makes sense.
And they like proper stuff it in as well.
Yeah, she said that's the only jacket kept her warm. She tried 4 or 5 like top brands.
Yeah.
She said only Canada Goose works.
It's because they're just designer, or as Canada Goose, they make the jackets based on cold weather.
In Canada.
Yeah.
Specifically,
He
yeah.
was a complete outsider on the second worst team in the league, and he started in just 17 games, scoring 7 points in 18 minutes per game. McGrady repeatedly quarreled with the then Raptors coach Darryl Walker, who often criticized Tracy on his work ethic. But the second season brought a lot of positives for Toronto and for McGrady. They got a new arena, a new coach, and the arrival of one player stole the hearts of all basketball fans in Canada. It was Vince Carter, the fifth pick of the '98 draft, and McGrady's cousin. Carter won the Rookie of the Year award. Toronto had 2 exciting young prospects, and Tracy finally had someone to hang out with. The 2 cousins were like peas in a pod.
Finally
They
got
became inseparable, like
something to
Siamese
chill
twins.
with.
Carter exploded in the 99-2000 season with 26 points and 4 assists on average, making his first All-Star team. Tracy had started to come into his own and finally saw an increase in playing time. In 31 minutes, he averaged 15.4 points, 6.3 boards, and 3.3 dimes per game. He also blocked 1.9 shots each game, which was the 10th best mark in the league and best for a non-center. He and Carter were a deadly combination nobody could stay in front of, and they had tremendous upside because they were both in their early 20s.
That's so sick. Imagine playing professional basketball with your cousin.
Yeah, that's cool.
On a top level, and you're both getting paid sick money.
Yeah.
Like, that is so sick.
There must be like competition though.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like good competition.
Especially on the dinner table.
Who eats more?
Yeah, no, family gathering.
But they're in the same team.
Yeah, like, oh no, bruv, you could have made that shot, but you didn't, but I made it. Like friendly competition kind of, yeah.
No, true.
The next Jordan and Pippen, McGrady said during one interview, adding that he thinks of himself as Scottie and Carter as MJ. But ultimately, those turned out to be just nice words. Even though they were cousins and best friends, the 2 young stars had extremely big egos. Despite publicly saying that he'd be fine to be a Pippen, McGrady secretly wanted to be a Jordan. And
See,
he
there you
wanted
go,
it
competition.
straight
There we go,
away.
you're
So
right.
he opted to go back home to Florida, signing a 6-year deal worth $67 million to join the
Ooh.
Orlando Magic. If
Damn.
McGrady had stayed with Carter and the Raptors, the Canadian team would likely have gone to 2 or 3 NBA Finals, considering that East wasn't that strong in the early 2000s. Magic years with the Magic. The main reason why I got to Orlando was Grant Hill. Not Florida, not the money, but Hill, Tracy said. Hill was a 5-time All-Star, just entering the prime of his career, and he and McGrady were going to become the best duo in the league, at least so we thought. Unfortunately, Hill's ankle injury got worse, and he played just 47 games in the next 4 years, and Tracy was left to carry the young Magic team on his shoulders.
I'm going to mention this. You know how this whole Embiid injury thing, yeah? Some people in the YouTube comments say we're very insensitive to people getting injured. Guys, Fats was a personal trainer at a very, very top level and dealt with people getting injured, dealt with, like, she's not some bimbo who's just like, trust me, you guys don't know Fats's CV in terms of the health world and injury world, and like, you know what I'm saying? She was a qualified personal trainer. Trust me, the last person to be insensitive about injury is Fats.
Oh yeah, guys, I just want to say it's just for bants as
It's
well.
a banter.
I'm not looking down on Embiid and discrediting his skills or anything. It's just for banter.
Like,
I'm very injury prone, aren't I?
She's always injured.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm always injuring myself, but it's literally just banter. It's nothing like
learn to
serious.
take a joke, guys. It's not
Yeah,
that
it's
deep.
just banter. That's
Which
what it
he
is.
did,
Okay.
and then some. Max started to torture opposing defenses with almost 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game. He got an All-Star nod, a place in the All-NBA second team, and the Most Improved Player award. hard. However, the Magic had a bunch of rookies next to McGrady, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Next season, it was much the same. McGrady was an all-star, and he made the first All-NBA team this time, but the Magic once again lost in the first round of the playoffs. Then, in the 2002-2003 season, we see the best of Tracy McGrady's career, as he became one of the most unstoppable offensive forces in the history of the game. He carried the entire Magic team on his shoulders, averaging 32.1 points per game, along with 6.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists. T-Mac was one of the top 5 players in three-pointers made that year, and was equally deadly from mid-range or driving to the basket. Just choose and pick your poison. I don't have any particular unstoppable move. I do everything well. It is up to the opponent to choose how I will score, McGrady said. Then came the first round of the playoffs, where Orlando barely made it as the 8th seed. The first-seeded Detroit was a tough opponent, but after 4 games, the Magic led 3-1. After the third win, the young and arrogant McGrady said, "It feels good to finally get to the second round of the playoffs." The Pistons must have heard what McGrady had said about finally advancing, and they did their best to make his life miserable. First, they destroyed Magic by 30 points in Game 5, and then they won the next 2 games, making T-Mac eat his word.
Now the dinner table will be tense. Them going head to head.
Yep. Bro, I told you should have stayed with me, but you chose to leave.
That's it.
You should have just stayed a Pippin.
But his contract was serious though. 67 mil, I think they said, for 6 years.
It doesn't matter. You
Big
want to
money.
win championships.
It's true.
Yep, it's not just the money. Well, it's just money if
Legacy.
you just think about money.
But it's legacy
But
though.
if you want to leave a legacy behind, it's about them trophies and rings.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're
For the
right,
2004 season, McGrady had continued to dominate. He was scoring in bunches, and he had his career high against the Wizards when he poured 62 points. With 28 points on average, he was once again a scoring champion, an all-star, and made the second All-NBA team. But it was all in vain, because Orlando was a disaster, and they finished the season with the worst record in the NBA. Completely pissed off, Tracy demanded to be traded. The Magic obliged, and he got sent to Houston in a 7-player deal. The next year, the Magic drafted Dwight Howard with the first pick, who became the best center in the NBA within 3 seasons, and Grant Hill got healthy and was an all-star. It's another what if, but if T-Mac had stayed, he could have gone to the finals with Orlando as well. Houston, we have a problem. Houston had a solid team in 2005, with solid veterans around the 25-year-old McGrady and 24-year-old Yao Ming, who established himself as one of the best centers in the league. The most memorable moment of the season was McGrady's 13 points in 33 seconds against the Spurs, which is still the best offensive 33 seconds by anyone in NBA history. T-Mac was once again an all-star and an All-NBA team member, and he produced his usual 25-6-5 stat line. In the first round of the playoffs, Houston played against Dallas, and the series went to Game 7. In the 7th game, one of the biggest blowouts in playoff history happened, with Dallas winning by 40 points. McGrady and Yao scored 60 of Houston's 76 points, and T-Mac definitely didn't disappoint, but he got stopped in the first round once again. Early in his second season with the Rockets, McGrady began to have back problems, which kept him off the floor on several occasions. McGrady played only 47 games, and the Rockets did not make the playoffs this season due to various injuries to McGrady and Ming.
The 2 injuries that are like the worst in NBA from what I've seen on videos is it
Achilles
that goes down a lot, and back.
Yeah,
those 2 are like, and knees as well. 3 injuries.
To be honest, everything, because in NBA you're using every part of your body. Like if your shoulder was to go, you need your shoulder to like dribble and do like tomahawk.
Even though it might not be as important as certain things, it's still, you need it. Like you said,
basically need your whole body when you're playing like professional level sport.
ACL, I think that's what Kyrie had, isn't it? ACL injury, that's a peak one. You know, to be fair, there's quite a few more than
I had an Achilles injury. It's not a joke.
Achilles?
I did that to myself, to be honest.
How'd you do it?
When I was young, I thought I was Superwoman. So I used to go on the tread and run like I literally imagined myself running like a track star. And I used to run in the wrong shoes, and there was always pain, but I ignored it. And as time went by, it got worse and worse and worse.
Then one day, boom.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
And I saw a physiotherapist, and he said I needed what's the needle called? Acupuncture. I was like, hell no, I don't like needles. That is not touching my skin.
You hate needles. You avoid that.
So yeah.
In the 2007 season, McGrady was selected for the All-Star game for the 7th time in a row. And Houston made the playoffs as the 5th seed, with great hopes. They met Utah Jazz in the first round, and the series was again decided in Game 7. You guessed it, T-Mac had lost again, despite averaging 25 points and 7 assists in the series. In the press conference after the game, T-Mac said, "This team was going to go as far as I take them. I tried my best. I tried," before suppressing tears and leaving the presser. The next season, same story. 5th seed in the West and the first round loss to the Jazz. Tracy was again playing really well, scoring 40 with 10 boards in the deciding Game 6, but he couldn't get over the talented Jazz team without the injured Yao Ming. In 2009, it was Ming who was healthy and played the best basketball of his career, but now Tracy was on the shelf, missing the start of the season because of knee and shoulder surgery, and then missing the entire season for the microfracture in the left knee, which didn't heal properly. To add insult to injury, this was the first time that his team advanced past the first round in the playoffs, with Tracy in street clothes. Multiple trades and injuries. NBA players usually reach their prime around the age of 28, when their physical ability and basketball IQ reach the same level. For McGrady, everything past the age of 28 was a struggle, and his body couldn't handle the NBA wear and tear anymore. This was mostly because of the way McGrady jumped and landed when he shot the ball, which was extremely harsh on his knees and back. For example, if you look at LeBron's landing mechanics, it's like an elegant gazelle, softly brushing the floor, which is a big reason why he almost never gets injured. Players like McGrady and Derrick Rose,
drops.
The way he drops, oh my God.
Yeah, Derrick Rose as well,
the stress anymore. Past the age of 29, his knees were shot dead, and he was a shell of a player he used to.
So at his prime year, basically, his body couldn't prime because of the damage he's caused, and that if he didn't have that damage, he would have primed even more. It just comes to show landing is very important. Like it seems like LeBron James.
You have to be mindful of how you like land.
It's a technique.
You can't just throw your body.
Yeah, just technique behind it for sure.
To be just a few seasons before, the Rockets decided to trade T-Mac at the beginning of 2009. He landed with the Knicks, where he played just 24 games and averaged 9 points per game. After that, he signed for Detroit, where he averaged just 8 points, and then Atlanta, where he averaged 5. He played a season in China in 2013, and just when it seemed like it was all over, Tracy received a call from San Antonio Spurs and Coach Pop, who still remembered those 13 points in 33 seconds. Tracy joined the Spurs for the playoffs, and he played garbage time minutes. Still, it was the best chance he ever had to win a championship, but Ray Allen's three-pointer in Game 6 denied him the title. After the Spurs lost to Miami in Game 7, McGrady retired from basketball at the age of 34.
He just had enough, innit?
Prime T-Mac was among the best and most versatile offensive weapons we have ever seen. Mac did not have a weakness in his game, and his movements were so fluid and so smooth that it often looked like he was playing slower than he actually did. Out of all the shooting guards and small forwards of his era, only LeBron was a better passer than McGrady, who averaged over 5 assists per game in Orlando and Houston. Mac rarely turned the ball over. He was a great rebounder and a very good defensive player when he wanted to be, especially early on in his career. Tracy could create a shot out of nowhere, and during his Orlando days, he was without a doubt the best scorer in the game. This man averaged 28 points when 28 points was a lot, and the pace was among the slowest in league history, with 10 possessions per game less than 2021. When Kobe Bryant asked which player was the hardest for him to guard, he said that it was Tracy McGrady, due to his 6'8" height, his length, athleticism, and offensive versatility. Tracy never made it past the first round, and that's something unique for a player in the Hall of Fame. But even though his teams weren't successful, it was not because of him. It was just bad luck, injuries, and a lot of what-ifs.
Well, at least... Go on.
It's like... What's that guy's name that
Melo.
was in the... Yeah, it's like Melo. He was an amazing player, but he just couldn't get a championship.
Yeah, he didn't pass the first, they said, the first phase. So, like, he done well to get Hall of Fame considering that, because a lot of, you know, players, they get looked at their championships and how many finals have they reached, how many finals MVPs. So it just shows how talented he was. It's just unfortunate circumstances. It is what it is.
He should have just stayed with the cousin. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a Pippen. Like,
he wanted to be a Jordan. He believed in himself.
Yeah,
it's not his fault.
But there's nothing wrong with being Pippen. Scottie Pippen was sick.
Pippen was sick.
Yeah.